What if I told you the next global crisis isn't going to come from war, a pandemic, or even technology, but from something far quieter? A number on a screen? A promise made decades ago? A bubble so huge it can't even be measured properly. And here's the real mystery. Why are governments, central banks, and financial experts pretending everything is fine when the world is drowning in more debt than at any point in human history? Today, we re-uncovering what happens when the global debt bubble finally bursts, and why the warning signs are already flashing. The hidden architecture of debt to understand the coming collapse. We must go back to the beginning, to the moment when nations discovered something dangerous. Debt can create prosperity, long before it destroys it. After World War II, the world rebuilt using borrowed money. In the 1970s, when the dollar left the gold standard, governments realized something even more tempting. They could print money without limit. Enter the era of central bankers. Paul Volcker, the man who fought inflation with extreme interest rates. Alan Greenspan, who became the maestro of cheap money. And later, a generation of leaders who believed every crisis could be solved by simply adding more debt. But here's the twist. Every solution created a bigger problem. Breaking point 1. Origins, the seeds of the bubble post-war loans. Cheap credit. Governments promising benefits they couldn't afford. Corporations using debt to fuel growth instead of innovation. Debt became the oxygen of the global economy. 2. Rise. The illusion of endless prosperity. By the 1990s and early 2000s, the world fell in love with leverage. Banks lent to anyone. Housing markets soared. Consumers were told, "Don't save, just borrow." The system worked, till it didn't. 3. Breaking point, the first warning shots. 2008 was not the collapse. It was the rehearsal. Governments responded by doubling down. More stimulus, lower interest rates, bigger debt loads. Global debt didn't shrink, it exploded. When the bubble pops, when a debt bubble bursts, doesn't pop like a balloon, it unravels like a knot. Currencies fall, banks freeze, lending businesses collapse. Governments face insolvency, people lose savings, jobs, security. The most dangerous part? Debt collapses slowly, and then all at once. Why the system can't save itself? Politicians try for tools. Print money, raise taxes, cut spending, borrow more, but printing creates inflation. Taxes slow growth. Cuts create chaos, and borrowing makes the bubble bigger. No modern government has chosen the painful option, to shrink debt honestly. History is repeating today. Global debt has passed $315 trillion. Some nations owe more than 500% of their GDP. 60% of countries are at risk of default. Inflation is returning. Interest rates are rising. Banks are quietly absorbing massive losses. Every signal is blinking red. Yet leaders say, everything is under control. The same words spoken before every major collapse in history. 3 takeaways. Debt-driven prosperity always ends with the bill coming due. No empire, economy, or currency in history has survived unlimited borrowing. The next crisis won't be a surprise. It's already unfolding in plain sight.